El Maestro Speaks.
El Maestro Speaks.
El Maestro Speaks.
Podcast.
And you're recording. Yep. Okay, yeah. So, testing the sound, if it's okay. So, perhaps I can bring this closer to me. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so what is up, ladies and gentlemen? How are we today?
Till I see you again, I'll be loving you. Love me.
And, so what has been happening? Yeah, I think America's back at it again. Okay, another, what they call that one? Another war. Another day, another war. Yep, just when you think everything's gonna be good. And here we go. Another bombing. And just when you're about to feel the fuel prices are going down, and then here we are. We're back at it again. And I guess, yeah, at least for the Philippines, we'll be feeling another, excessive. And excessive cannot explain, cannot define it. Excessive oil price hike if the situation will not get better. So, yep, there's that. And yep, in this episode, we'll be talking about what has been happening for the past week. A list here in the Philippines, we're having our impeachment trial happening in the Senate. So I don't know if you guys are watching that. I can't. I don't know because you know, when I don't know when I watch something like that, and if I'm listening to someone speaking, and it would seem like they don't know what they're talking about, and they are in some way embarrassing themselves. I don't know, but I am the one feeling so. It's not annoyed, but yeah, it's a bit cringe. I'm I'm the one getting embarrassed less if I'm the one talking. So, and just reading some clips of the news and some of the social media cards being posted by some of the news outlet online. I already I can I can at least have a view of what's really happening during the trial. So we see people, senator, judges talking, you know, doing their own thing, and the way of doing so kind of showing who the who, who they are in the world, like they don't know shit. They don't. I mean, or let's just say they do know things, but what they know is a little bit weird for me. Yeah, that's why I didn't. During the impeachment trial of Corona in the 2010, I think I watched some of it and then watched the full during the closing when they gave their verdict. Yep. So what is about this impeachment? So this is, I think, the first one that is for the vice president, right? the first impeachment trial since like the start of the 1987 Constitution was that of Mr. Joseph Estrada, the was that the first to be impeached, I guess, or the first to go to an impeachment trial was President Joseph Estrada, and the first to be convicted in an impeachment trial was Justice Renato Corona. Yep. uh, I think I don't know if you will agree with me. It is a process, right? Impeachment trial, but it is a process. Maybe it's a way of removing leaders who have wronged the country, have committed sins against the nation, against the constitution. But at the same time, if you get the numbers in the Congress, I guess it is also a weapon. Yep, I guess it is also a weapon um, of weapon you can use to eliminate your political enemy. And that's just my view, you know. So if you got the numbers, if you know how to play it, and of course you got the machinery, you got the money to go around, you can promise something. I guess most, like let's say, 60% of it is being used as a weapon, and being used as a process to 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 um like test or to see if the official has committed sins against the nation. It's just like 40% of it. Yeah. And so I don't know if we are to use impeachment fairly. uh, I would say everyone at the top position should be impeached, right? Right? So uh, it goes without saying that no one's got clean hands in the world of politics. You know, um, you cannot go into the world of politics with a clean hands. It is like a you saying that you will be clean while you are planning to dive into the pool of mud. You know, it's impossible. It's impossible. So yeah, if we are to use impeachment fairly, everyone, everyone up top will be impeached for sure. So yeah, maybe you will be asking, oh, so would you mean, or do you mean that politics is dirty? Yeah, I think observing it right now, like reading things, looking at stories, you would say it is. It is. Politics is a world of compromise, you know. Um, and again, like I said, it's like when you would plan to go to that world, you are going into a pool of mud. And when you get out of that world, for sure, you are dirty. You get dirt in your hand, you get dirt all over your body. It's a world of compromise, and at times, the saddest thing is that you are sometimes, and most of the times, compromising your principles You know, your principle is being sacrificed in order for you to achieve a goal. You know, and maybe some will say, yep, that's part of leadership and nation. A country is built in that world, right? Yes, it is true. But if people going in that world are not careful, yep, nations are being destroyed through that world too. You know, so it's very important that if you go there, that you really know yourself, that you know what are those that you can compromise, that you know when to step back when you feel that you're being eaten by the system, and you know how to discern if you are already being eaten by the system. Yep. And I guess you cannot stay in that pool for too long, or you will become, a mud. Instead of just having mud on you, you'll become a mud if you stay too long in that world. And I don't know, kind of like I saw clans, which is very common here in the Philippines, clans, um, who are immersed in that world, and it is a family business to them. So values no longer weigh in when they make a decision. It's already what's in it for me, right? Maybe new politicians will say, yeah, well, let's say I have these principles of mine, and I wouldn't bargain this into this world. I don't want this to be touched. I don't want this to get dirty. But for those who stayed in that pool for too long, it's already like, oh, I'm already dirty. People already see me as this. So before I get out of this world, I have to have something. It has to benefit me, because they already know that's the system. It is the system. It's not already working for the people. It is already working for profit. And that is, I think, what most of the politicians of our country is doing right now. I think you can just count with your one hand those politicians who are not yet fully compromised, those who are still trying hard not to bargain certain personal principles of theirs, that they still have that, and they're still trying navigating the pool in a way that those ones, their principle, their values and their morals were not compromised or will not be sacrificed, you know. But the question is, until when? Until when can they do that, you know? So one politician who I admire, he's young and he knows this. I think the way I explain it maybe is totally different with how he views it, because for me, I think I view it like that. It's totally dirty, and you really need to have to know what you're doing. But in his case, he laid out things like you have to, have someone who can check you. So he already like laid out safety features, like safety lines, lifelines for him, so that if he goes away or he got lost, somebody will like save him, or he can always um, hold that line, and he can save whatever is left of his humanity. you know and that is a good thing. You can say that that guy had planned his career in the world of politics well, that he knows how to protect his values and his principles. you know yeah, there's that. And we can only count those people with one hand here in the Philippines. There's few of them. Um, Maybe a lot of them were like that before when they were just starting out, but that, like I said, as time goes by, in a world where you need to compromise, in a world where in at times uh, you will forget why you were there, and at times you wouldn't notice how much of your personal values has been sacrificed. Maybe you can say that's how big the sacrifice of these leaders are. Maybe, yeah, you're right. If they are really doing it for the goodness of the masses, of the goodness of for the protection of people, for the protection of the nation, but at times they're doing it for personal gain. People sometimes just dive in there in that pool, and then they are already starting to think of how can they stay here longer, because as they see it as a business. It's a easy way to make money, you know. So like what I'm saying a while ago, if we are to impeach people, we should impeach everyone. But again, in the law is that, yep, the way the impeachment rules was laid is that you gotta have the number. It's a numbers game. Yep. And it will also, I heard a quote before that nothing, nothing can ever destroy democracy but democracy itself. And yeah, you review the process that we go through. It's tedious. And yep, that is right. That code is right. Nothing's going to destroy democracy but democracy itself. Because this young generations growing up, if they see this, yep, that would, you know, disappoint them to believing in democracy. That's why it's very, very easy for them to be indoctrinated, because, you know, uh, you don't need to go far to give examples when you are indoctrinating them with, other beliefs, other, or indoctrinating them to believe in other system of governments. You don't need to go far. You can just let them watch TV. Let them read the news. And there you go. Okay. A lot of reasons for them to hate democracy. You know. But I don't know. I'd like to believe that the system has a way of fixing itself, right? Yeah, perhaps, and it's like a water flowing, that no matter how you'll try to stop it, it's gonna find its way to go through and find a way to reach its destination. So, yeah, I think system running the nation is like that too. But along the way, a lot of sacrifices is going to happen, and the number one that is affected is, you know, us, the people in the lowest part of society, lowest class of society. So there's that. Yeah. Mistakes of leadership. He is being, you know, suffered by the people in the lowest class of society. So, what you might be asking, what do I think on the process? Yeah. Or what do you think? Do you think the president will be convicted? Or, I mean, the vice president will be convicted or not? I don't know, but based on what I'm reading, the defense is not doing a good job so far. I'm not a lawyer, but it is. If I'm one of those judges, I'm still not convinced. You know, so I'm giving this opinion with the very few informations that I had. I didn't watch the trial extensively. I just read some clips. So based on those, I would say the defense is not really convincing me. Yeah, let's just put it that way. Yeah, let's see what happens in the next day.
Ngayon nga'y malaki ka na, nais mong maging malaya, di man sila.
Another one I saw is the video of a teacher who got cited for a traffic violation because he was not wearing a helmet while riding his motorcycle. So they became popular too. And I was thinking of putting this on the other podcast that I had, but I don't know. This happened this week, so let's just talk about it. Well, how can I put this? So he got cited because he violated traffic rules, right? And he should be. He should be. That is, congratulations to the traffic enforcer for doing his job, right? So, right, the traffic enforcer did the good thing. The thing is, the teacher requested that nobody will take a video or nobody should record the incident. Asking I think the enforcer not to record him, and still the traffic enforcer recorded him. At the same time, he castigated. What's the better word for that? I think I'm overusing that word already. Castigated the teacher for not following the traffic rules. Like he said, you should be a model and do the right thing, right? There's nothing wrong with that. But in a way, the way he did it is, he was like, I don't know. I cannot say if he is like insulting the teacher because he's a teacher and didn't do the right thing, something like that. So, some people will say that he went too far for doing so because that's not part of the job. And people will say what he should have done is just gave the ticket and that's it, because the teacher is amenable of what he have done. Okay? He acknowledged that he did something wrong, so he should not have done the other things after giving the ticket. But unfortunately, he did and uploaded it on Facebook, though the face was covered. So you cannot really identify who that teacher is. I think for those who knew the teacher, they can actually, um, recognize the voice. But then people are complaining, it's mostly teachers. It goes viral because of the teachers. And yep, I'm talking here as a teacher too. And my point of view is that, yeah, I agree that you should not do that. But let's also remember that teachers are human too. They make mistakes. And if they made that, you enforce the law, okay? And give, cite them. If they made a traffic violation, okay, of course they got to be cited with the ticket, but that's it. You don't need to insult the profession because, like I said, once it does not mean that when you are a teacher, once you became a teacher, that you will not be making mistakes. We are human. We're not impervious to make a mistake. We make mistake on a daily basis, right? So, yeah, he should not have done that. Okay, but the the virality of the situation, I didn't expect that. The action that is coming on or that's happening right now, I don't I don't think that is good. Okay, if that thing happened after it happened, you can just, of course, we can give our comments, right? But suspending the enforcer and uh, filing cases like that, I think it's unnecessary and it's too much. Are really that onion skinned, you know? So, well, he got cited, okay? And while he was being cited with it, he get somebody said something not so good to him. Somebody took a video of it and was posted in the internet. So, yep, that's it. And that should be the end of it. Well, we didn't like it. It hurts us, but that should be the end of it. You know, it does not. We do not need to. Well, it's the person's right to complain, file a case, but is it really that necessary? I don't think so. We just we're just showing the world what we're overly sensitive with this kind of things. He is not identified. The face was blurred. I don't think that goes against data privacy because it's in a public place. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. Um, is it libelous? I don't think so because again, the face was covered. The face was protected. He said that he doesn't like to be recorded. Still, there's nothing. His face was covered, and I don't know. Maybe a lawyer will say otherwise, but I don't think this. I don't think this is normal already. I think this is too much reaction, and a lot of people who wants to get their names popular is riding on it, you know, and it's better for the teacher community to be quiet about this. Well, the teacher made a mistake. Yeah, we acknowledge it. Yes. Well, the other person insulted him. Maybe unconsciously that guy is some grudge to teachers. But like I said, people make mistake. If the teacher made a mistake, that traffic enforcer made a mistake too in insulting the teacher. And that's it. That's it. That's the end of it, right? We don't need to go to court for that. We don't need to have someone suspended for that. I don't know. We are onion skinned. Things like this is happening to police officers too, to other professions too, but we don't see the community of those other professions doing this. Like it's too much of an injustice. So I don't. This is just my point of view. Yeah, well, this is my opinion, and it's how I view this. And we're getting too far. We're going too far with this. Just let it go. Learn to let go of things, you know. And that's the end of it. I think it would be better for the traffic enforcer and the teacher to have a conversation, talk about what happened that day, and that's it. You don't need to go to court for this. It's too much. This is going too far, you know. What are we doing? Are we too sensitive now? You know, we are unaware, but this the cancel culture of America is really getting into the country right now. I think that's natural when we people like are so, you know, engrossed with social media that it's human natures, I think. It's human nature to react to things that they say online. But I don't know. Didn't expect this to come from the teachers community. Well, anyway, it's part of it. Let's see how it will go. Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy though. It's too much, you know. We are like acting. We're acting like a baby if we do these things. Um, just let go. I, I cannot let go of this. Just let it go. Yeah, time heals. Whatever insult, I mean, that the teacher felt. Yeah, time heals. Of course, you can. Like I said a while ago. Yeah, he has all the right to complain, but in my opinion, I think it is. I'm also free to give my own opinion. Is that I think this is too much, right? Anyway, mm, yeah, as a teacher and as a we've we have done a lot of things we're not proud of. Yeah, just that no one recorded it in camera and posted it. And yep, that is exact. That is, of course, I agree that's wrong, but yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. We're going too far with this. It became a national news. Imagine that. Just the ticket for not wearing a helmet became a national news. Yeah. I think the lesson that we can learn here as teachers that you do something like that, at least remove your uniform. Right? Yeah. Take your uniform off. Put it in a top box. Put it in the motorcycle box. You know? When you do things like that. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's a practical lesson we can learn from it. People.
All in time, I somehow find you and I collide. Don't stop here, 'cause I lost my place.
The news is a while ago of a police report wherein police are saying that the data they gathered is showing them that this year or the the situation of peace and order in our country in this administration is safer, safer, quote unquote, than that in the past administration. And I saw the reaction of people. It's all angry emoji and laughing emojis. I think they're taking it as a joke, or some most are insulted because of it. But I don't think it is. With all the news that you see, that a lot, just days ago you saw a motorcycle rider, motor taxi driver, get stabbed and killed by his passenger. Two, you know, innocent people working for their family. I cannot consider a country safe if that's what's happening. You know, in a place like this, if uh, killings are happening, it, you know, you cannot stop it. Every day there's like this, every day there's like that. People are now like desensitized with the word killing, and like they're used to it. So if you aren't going to ask people, they would rather choose that those who are suspected, or those who are doing crimes, are the ones who will die. I think that's the situation our country is in. Like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, up until now. That's why that the pronouncement by the police is so unpopular, because they see there's a lot. Okay? Just weeks ago, students killed by shooters. We cannot, they cannot be accountable. They cannot be held accountable because they're minor. You know, no one heard that like 10 years ago, 5 years ago. No one heard about that. What they hear back then are drug suspects being killed because like this and like that. Of course, there are some irregularities that comes along the way, but then, like I said a while ago, if people are used to reading news that somebody died, somebody's killed, someone lost his life like this violently, they would rather choose that those that will go onto the news are those that committed a crime than that of, you know, what's happening right now. It's when you see people really don't care about human rights anymore, right? Because they are desensitized. This has been happening for years. Killing is already normal. We see it in the television every day. No, the change that was brought in 2016 is that the, the profile of people being killed are criminals. You feel that even the criminals get scared. You can really feel the peacefulness of the night during those times. There's killing happening there, but those who are dying, okay, minus those who were taken by, EJK, EJK, so to speak, those who were being killed or suspected of a crime or committed a crime. Compare it now. So I think this situation here will, if this administration is not really careful, will bring back the power to the past administration. I'm telling you, or to a leader who would act like the past administration, would swear to stop criminality in any way they can. Yeah, that's gonna be the one next in power in 2028. I'm telling you. people now, people now are, like I said, desensitized with killing. So they know that you cannot stop that 100%. So what are they going to choose? Since this is the reality of our world, then let's just say that, let's just pick those that is committing a crime to be the one who's going to be killed. That's gonna be, and I think that is the thinking of all Filipinos, most Filipinos right now. You know, because there's a minus that is a load removed from them. Because who would want to live in a place wherein you have to think of where to get your next food at the same time you're thinking of your security? Once security was given to them, they can only think of one thing. They can now think of how to go look for food for their family without being worried about their security. Yeah. That, if that is addressed by whoever's dreaming to run as the next leader of the land, comes 2028, then for sure he's gonna win. Landslide. Landslide. You know? Yeah. This is the thing happening. I just remembered this when I saw a post a while ago of a guy, and I think one of my Korean students asked me this too in 2010. Why do guards here, mall guards in a mall, use gun like that? And to us who grew up here in the Philippines, that is normal. It was normalized to us. It's not for them. And yeah, I can compare that to, yeah, like what I said a while ago, killing. It became normal now in this country. It's sad, but it's the reality because people see it every day in the news. It's sad. It's painful if it happens near you, but you can say it is normal here. It's what's happening here. You know, yeah, it's sad reality here in our country. We cannot. So, I don't know. I don't agree with that report, but they said their data, police officers, Philippine National Police's data show that. So we can't argue with that. That's based or backed with evidence. We cannot say otherwise. That's what their evidence is telling them, you know. So that's it. Mhm. And hopefully things will get better, you know. Yeah. We talked about things like this. So negative, right? But I always believe things will get better. Okay. The world has its own way of finding the right course, no matter what. So let's hope and pray everything will be good in the future, you know. Well, that's it for this episode. And thanks so much for listening to this podcast. You can always share this podcast. And I'll be seeing you again in the next one. Bye bye, everyone.